Winter has made it to Madison, Wisconsin. Temperatures in the 30s, maybe some snow in the forecast, but a warm welcome to Big Ten football on the Big Ten Network as the Wisconsin Badgers trying to preserve bowl eligibility, hosting the, at long last, ranked Washington Huskies, where head coach Jedd Fisch coaching for the first time at Camp Randall Stadium and bringing Washington to Madison for the first time since 1968. That was a Washington win. These Huskies won their last time out as well, which Coach Fisch called their most complete game of the season in a win over Illinois. Hey everybody, great to be here with you. Rhett Lewis, Yogi Roth, Danny Rogers will be with us on the field. And for Coach Fisch's Huskies, that bye week offered an opportunity to reset the mindset. After being ranked 23rd in the college football playoff, they believe their playoff run begins today.
Yeah, and it's really simple for this team. This playoff run begins by going 1-0. That is the mindset. Jedd Fisch told us moments ago, we're going to remember what we do in November here, and they've got bigger plans than just winning this ballgame, but they know they have to stay focused, and a big reason why they can do that, because of the three players they have on offense, three of the best in America. Demond Williams at quarterback, Denzel Boston at wide receiver, and Jonah Coleman at running back. When you look at their slate, they know it won't be easy, but they do believe if they can get this one and then go 1-0 again. And again, we all know what that possibly could be if they were to face the Ducks with a potential playoff berth on the line.
That would be a huge one at the end of the season. But for these Wisconsin Badgers, that chill in the air is also representative of the relationship between this program and certain parts of the fan base. But for athletic director Chris McIntosh, he is taking the criticism and turning it to conviction. Number one, announcing that Luke Fickell will return as head coach in 2026 despite this 6-game losing skid, and that he believes Coach Fickell is still the guy that was almost unanimously applauded as one of the best hires of that cycle 3 years ago.
Yeah, we spent time with Chris McIntosh yesterday, and a big part of this was, number one, quieting the noise around this program. Number two, also reminding people of the reality of this program. The quarterback has been injured for the majority of Luke Fickell's tenure as the starting quarterback. When he's had a starter, he's gone 8-3. You look at the college football playoff this past week in the rankings, only one team in the projected 12 going to the CFP has a backup quarterback playing in Ole Miss. So that's a reality. Also the offensive line. Today you'll see the 7th different starting group on the offensive front. They're playing their 9th game. And then when you spin it forward, the one thing he did share was there's going to be more resources allocated to the program. So number one, that begins with retention of players for Luke Fickell, and then of course recruiting and trying to get some of the more talented players in the country to come here, and they expect to win next season.
Well, look, quarterback instability, a big part of the incomplete evaluation of Luke Fickell's program, will turn to Danny O'Neal once again as QB1, making his first start since Alabama. That game back in week 3. Danny Rogers with more on that from the field. Apologies, we can't hear Danny Rogers down on the field, but was talking a little bit about the mindset for Danny O'Neal, making his 3rd start of the season, again first since that Alabama game back in week 3. Could see a little bit of the true freshman Carter Smith as well, who really just started taking reps with the offense after spending the majority of the season on the scout team.
Yeah, and I think a big part when Wisconsin does get the football, I think you'll see them really play to Danny O'Neal's strengths, the run-pass option game, some quarterback run game, things that Washington has not seen on tape from this Wisconsin offense throughout the majority of this season.
All right, so Wisconsin wins the toss and chooses to defer, so Washington will receive the kick. Back deep there, Jonah Coleman, stud running back, as Yogi mentioned, big part of that big 3 for the Washington Huskies. Adam Muhammad back there as well, part of that running back room. So here we go, a new month for both these teams coming off a bye. 4 guaranteed opportunities, and a furious fight to the finish begins now with a touchback. And Demond Williams enters the fray. Boy, you look at what he's done. He set a Washington record in that win over Rutgers for the most total yards accounted for by a player, then comes back, tough game against Michigan, 3 interceptions there. But how about the bounce back against a really good Illinois team where he accounts for a career-high 4 touchdowns and well over 300 total yards. In fact, Demond Williams leading the Big Ten in offensive yards per game at over 318. He is a stud.
That will be the challenge today for this defense. They got to slow down Damon Williams with his arm, legs.
RPO will go quickly to that number 1 target, Denzel Boston, and a first completion here for Damon Williams.
You talk about talent in all of college football. You look at the 3 that we just talked about, Denzel Boston, Damon Williams, and Jonah Coleman. I mean, they are so talented. They are premium players in their respective positions in college, even in the next level. You look at this offensive line, they're finally healthy as well on the left side, and they plan on giving it to Jonah Coleman a bunch today.
Carver Willis, John Mills back on the left side at left tackle, left guard, and here's what Damon Williams can do so well is pick up quick yards, and a bunch of them with his legs. And for Wisconsin, this is just the second team to hold Oregon under 30 points as they did last week.
Yeah, and a big part is this front 7. Mason Reiger, a big piece of it off the edge.
And the throw complete again. This time it's Denzel Boston again over midfield. So now into Wisconsin territory on just their 3rd play from scrimmage. 18-yard gain.
Yeah, a big part of this Wisconsin defense are these 2 freshman inside linebackers you'll see today. They're playing against a quarterback who's really making critical decisions efficiently. Damon
Williams overthrowing one of 3 true freshmen we'll see at receiver for Washington today. That one, Desmond Roebuck, the intended receiver. A little tempo here early, though.
Yeah, they want to find a little bit of a rhythm. You know, talking to players on the field and coaches in pregame, they weren't intimidated by the weather at all. Like, they often see rain in the Pacific Northwest. They're hoping for a little bit of snow flurries that we might get here as the game continues.
2nd and 10 now for Damon Williams. Quick throw back out to Denzel Boston with the blockers out in front. He'll pick up about 8 and get across the 40-yard line.
Here comes tempo again, and a big part for Damon Williams. Just getting the ball out. You'll see Mason posted number 8, the linebacker. No chance to even have an impact on the play. Ball out immediately from Williams.
Quick handoff goes to Jonah Coleman, and Coleman's going to get about a yard.
And this is a 4-down territory situation here for Jedd Fisch. Not even going to hesitate at all here. And this is really where the legs of Damon Williams are a threat. So for Wisconsin, they have to have some initial penetration into the backfield.
Washington pretty good on 4th down. 7 of 12 converted so far this season. Beat Damon Williams off to his left. Got it complete. Denzel Boston. See where the spot is.
He might be short.
Going to be close. Wisconsin thinks they've turned him back. Waiting for a signal here.
10, Wisconsin.
And Wisconsin comes up with a big-time turnover on downs to turn that Washington offense away. Denzel Boston not quite to the line to gain. Wisconsin's offense next. Taking a look at the turnover on downs here, the 4th and 2 play, as Denzel Boston before he lunged the ball across the line to gain, you see that left foot out of bounds in the white there. Needed to get just about a yard shy as that foot went out of bounds. So close, but big stop and some momentum early here for this Wisconsin Badgers team. Danny O'Neal, first snap, 3rd start for the true sophomore from Indianapolis. And for a bit more on Danny O'Neal, we'll take a look at what he's been able to do so far this season. Completing nearly 70% of his passes. He's thrown 5 touchdowns, but he's been banged up too, which has been part of the issue with the Achilles.
I think a big part of it is that he's running Billy Edwards' offense. The offense built for him. They were never sure when he was going to come back. In the bye week, they made a change. You'll see more plays called to suit Danny O'Neal's strengths.
And that's one of them. Danny O'Neal pulling it on the read option. Going to get a first down and move the sticks here for this Wisconsin offense. More now on the Badgers quarterback. Here is Danny Rogers.
Badgers have been ravaged by injury so far this season. A really interesting stat, a combined 37 total games have been impacted or missed by starters this season because Wisconsin just keeps getting banged up. Danny O'Neal, you mentioned it, he's been injured. His right Achilles injury could play a factor in today. That's why the entire staff has told all the quarterbacks suiting up, be on call. You're all in play, and that includes the true freshman, Carter Smith, who has yet to make his debut.
Yeah, excited to see Carter Smith and what the fan base is too when he does get an opportunity. If he gets an opportunity, first down throw from O'Neal, incomplete. A couple of tight ends on the field there. Grant Steck, the intended receiver.
We spent some time with Danny O'Neal yesterday after practice, and he knows he's not at 100%, to Danny Rogers' point, because I got to pour in for my guys, for this team. And that is the truth. It's been a tough stretch for Wisconsin, but they have not quit. You turn on the film, there's no loafs. They're leaving it on the grass, on the turf every single Saturday, and Danny O'Neal couldn't wait to play and get an opportunity to start again.
Now a 2nd and 10 opportunity from Washington territory. Quick pitch out to Atuka. Had a big-time game against Oregon, and now has a chunk play here, going for almost 15 yards. We'll give him 14, and they'll move the sticks once again. But this Wisconsin offense now getting back-to-back, having the same offensive line combination.
Yes, 7 different combinations this season. Really haven't been able to see Jeff Grimes' system. Wants that stretch zone, outside zone scheme. Haven't really gotten there because of the injuries. But due to those, you're seeing Gideon Atuka get a little bit of burn, his first career start today.
21 carries for 85 yards against Oregon. Another position that's seen plenty of injuries. Giving it to the fullback now, Jackson Aker, who's carried the ball for this team in the past. Now getting a look. This was Washington defense here. They got some. This is a team that is a top 20 run defense right now in the country.
Yeah, it's a front that knows they need to stop the run, try to force them to throw. They'll play a bunch of different players in this front 7. They'll roll a couple guys through at linebacker, but it's the back end that'll be a real challenge today. Alex McLaughlin, you'll see him all over the field. He's in the middle of your screen, number 12 at the safety position, now going out to corner.
Barely got that snap into Danny O'Neal's hands, and he is spun around in the pocket and brought down. Boy, that quarterback-center exchange with the running back crossing nearly caused a problem.
Yeah, a huge part of today for Danny O'Neal is just going to have no unforced errors, and he just kind of fumbles the snap. And you're right, a lot going on in that regard, but this is an area of his growth. Here on 3rd down, he's going to see an exotic look from this defense led by defensive coordinator Ryan Walters. He's got to trust his eyes and get the ball out. Keep an eye on Trechke Kahuna, number 2 in the slot at the bottom of the screen.
That receiver group has remained positive despite all the quarterback turnover. And O'Neal, play action to Atuka, could not get it free to Trechke Kahuna, but a flag comes in a little bit late from behind the play, or rather the Washington secondary.
I wonder if this is going to be a pick play.
Get a first chance to hear from Brian Banks.
There is no foul for offensive pass interference. The ball was touched behind the line of scrimmage. It's 4th down.
Yeah, that's a good job by the officials picking that up. Oftentimes you'll see on 3rd downs trying to rub defenders off one another. If the ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage, you pick up the flag.
And so we will see Nathaniel Vakos just within his range. This kick will be from about 48 yards. 48-yard attempt, 3 of 5 this season from this range for Vakos. And just pushes left for Vakos, so Washington unable to capitalize on the momentum from the turnover on downs. Put some early points on the board, but these Washington fans still enjoying a perfect atmosphere for football from Madison. All right, no score from Madison as we take a look at today's Impact Players, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
You got to talk about Jonah Coleman every single time. You're talking about an impact player. They know they want to get him rolling. How about Ontario Thompson, the defensive line? This is 3rd straight year he's played in this stadium for 3 different teams. And Mason Posa, keep an eye on him right here at linebacker, the true freshman.
And so Jonah Coleman gets the first down carry, pitch out, and dragging tacklers with it. Get a gain of 4 for Coleman, who had just 1 touch on the opening drive for Washington.
They know they need to get him going, and a huge part, as you referenced off the top, Brett, was the offensive line. Carver Willis back at left tackle, John Mills at left guard. When those two are in, you're almost guaranteed to score. Almost 80% of the drives when they're in at left tackle and left guard, they've come away with points this season.
John Hill's an 18-year-old freshman as Adam Muhammad gets the carry, and he is wrapped up. Cooper Catalano making the initial contact, one half of that true freshman linebacker tandem for Wisconsin.
Cooper Catalano, a huge recruit for this program, right in the middle of your screen. These two linebackers have tremendous instincts. Watch them just understand where the ball is going to go, leverage it, and that has been the word that this defense has been echoing all week long.
Another third down now. Damon Williams, pressure immediately, forced out of the pocket, trying to make one miss, but will not. Mason Reiger, the transfer from Louisville, making the stop.
Brett, you hear the word spy all the time in college football. This is a beautiful example of it. Mason Posa, one of the two true freshmen at linebacker. Watch him here on the snap. He'll start up, and then he's going to back off. And he's just going to be watching Damon Williams the whole time. We use that word leverage. He's got to stay outside, then allow everybody else to funnel to the quarterback. Beautiful job by this Wisconsin defense.
Each of the freshman linebackers making big stops. That punt just barely got off amidst some pressure. Tyrell Henry was questionable coming up into this game, makes the catch, and we will see the Wisconsin offense once again. Football on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance and by Copilot on Windows 11. Meet the computer you can talk to. Greg Gard's number 24 ranked Wisconsin Badgers notching win number 2 on the season last night, defeating Northern Illinois. 97 points on the scoreboard. Lighten it up. How many of those can we get over here? Camp Randall today for this Wisconsin offense. Second possession now for Danny O'Neal. And he'll pull it once again. And Danny O'Neal's got room around the left side. Kind of tripped a little bit. But he's going to go for 22.
And it looks like he might be down. Keep an eye on this play. That's Lance Mason. He kind of becomes
Timeout
the lead
for the
blocker.
injured offensive player.
It's a heck of a run. Let's keep an eye on it at the end. It looks like something might have happened about 5 yards before he goes down. Right there. And remember, Danny Rogers referenced the right Achilles. We talked to him yesterday about it. Said he was just going to keep competing through it.
The previous play is under review for potential targeting.
I saw that on the replay that there was some helmet-to-helmet contact. Ryland Dillard Allen, one of the talented true freshmen on this Wisconsin defense, as Luke Fickell trots out to check on his quarterback, which has been an unfortunate theme of this season. Back to Camp Randall after this. Boy, just another tough scene here in Madison halfway through the first quarter. Second possession for Wisconsin. Danny O'Neal, as you get a look at the hit here, this was initially reviewed for a potential targeting on Ryland Dillard Allen, but the call of no targeting was upheld. Steve Strimling with us. Steve, what'd you see?
Yeah, you know, they didn't call this on the field, and when you go to the rule book, they talk about the runner dipping his head at the same time as the defender, as opposed to attacking, and that's what they ruled when they reviewed the play.
Steve, thanks very much. So Danny O'Neal off on the cart into the game. The true freshman with a 9-yard gain. Carter Smith making his debut.
Carter Smith was a prolific high school player, Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Florida. If you follow high school football, yeah, exactly. You know, that's pretty good. One-time commit to Michigan, comes here. His best ability is his athleticism, and they go immediately to those legs, come back to the well, a very similar run. Now this true freshman getting his first run of his college football life.
Second and short. Handoff goes to Atuka. Had some room. Atuka just brought down Alex McLaughlin. Terrific tackle to prevent what might have been a touchdown if Atuka gets out of that.
I think it's important just to kind of reset. This Wisconsin offense came into the season, and Jeff Grimes, the offensive coordinator, they wanted to be an outside zone, stretch running team. They had a pocket passer in Billy Edwards. He was injured. What are you going to do? Is he going to come back? Is he not? They weren't really sure. They went with Hunter Simmons the last couple of games because he was in the mold of Billy Edwards. But since the bye week, it has transformed. It is a zone read, run pass option offense tonight. You've seen it with Danny O'Neal. You're watching it right now with Carter Smith.
And he will give once again. And it's Jackson Aker, the fullback. And he is met by a host of Huskies, but a solid gain on first down once again.
You can hear it up here. I mean, it is a physical game right now. This offensive line is a proud group. You reference all the different combinations, 7 different combinations this season. And they know they have to establish the line of scrimmage.
I mean, look no further than center Davis Heinzen, who started week 1 as a left tackle, was recruited here as a left tackle, thought maybe he was a guard, didn't think he was going to be a center. Now here he is. Snaps the ball back to Carter Smith, the true freshman. First pass attempt. Looking for Lance Mason, but flag comes out.
I think it's going to be a hold on the defense on Mason. Trying to run down the sideline.
Defense number 7. 10-yard penalty to the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
One of 2 6'4" corners. Ephesians Prysock gets the hook on that one.
So when you're Jed Fish and you're this Washington defense, you're seeing an offense that you haven't really seen on tape.
That's right.
So the number one thing is you got to go back to just your base reads, your base defense, and there's so much movement happening in the backfield. Keep an eye right here. Down the sideline, you'll see the hold. Little wheel route, grab on the inside actually against Chris Brooks, the wide receiver.
So a 1st and 10 now from just inside the 15. Carter Smith handoff, Gideon Atuka, and he is met almost immediately in the center of that Washington defense. Tai Uiagalelei in there on the stop.
It is a Wisconsin offense that's just struggled early on in ball games. First quarter, they have not found much success this season. We talked to many players yesterday about starting fast. They wanted to create some momentum. And again, this is a team that has not lost hope. No. You watch them on film, right? We do it all week long. Like, they are pouring in and they're playing hard. They want this thing just to pay off a little bit. They can get some points here. This place all of a sudden erupts a little bit. We got a different atmosphere inside Camp Randall.
A true freshman now at quarterback. Into the injured Danny O'Neal. And he's going to keep it. And in through the middle of that Washington defense will grab a couple of extra. We'll give him 3 yards.
Well, this is the hardest part of playing quarterback, whether you're a 5th-year player or you're a true freshman. 3rd down, tight red zone. This is decision-making time. This is when all of a sudden your windows are smaller. The timing is quicker. So for offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes, I just give my quarterback Carter Smith a half-field read. Make it simple. Read one defender. If it's open, cool. If not, use your legs or throw it away.
I don't wonder how much of the offense is really on Carter Smith's play sheet for Jeff Grimes. And a pitch out, Gideon Atuka. Atuka, physical run, and will go down to the 6-yard line, but shy of the line to gain. Zach Durfee comes in on the hit.
And how about this? I think they're going to go for
Leave
it
him
here.
out. 4th down.
Well, we
Big
talked
spot.
We talked to Luke Fickell yesterday. Coach, what's your mindset heading in? He goes, we're going to be aggressive. And this place might have more juice right now than they've had the last couple times.
Fans on their feet here at Camp Randall.
I go to the zone read game. Keep it in Carter Smith's hands. Keep it simple for him. They bring in the fullback, Jackson Aker, into the ball game as well.
And we're going to get a timeout on the field for Wisconsin. We are back with a 4th down opportunity. 30 seconds. This team needs a score. This stadium needs a home score. Last points scored here at Camp Randall September 20th, and a loss to Maryland. And this would be huge for morale and for momentum for a true freshman quarterback, Carter Smith.
I think they're going to go QB run game here. You got 2 backs in the backfield, 2 potential lead blockers.
4th down, Carter Smith, keeper. And depending on the spot, it's going to be close again. Elenius Davis in on the stop for Washington. Signal, no signal.
Rolling on the field is going to short of the line of gain. That's a turnover on downs. It's 1st and 10, Washington.
2nd short yardage turnover on downs. Now 1 for each team.
Well, they go to the QB run game with 3 blockers. You got your tight end influence in the edge. A nice read by Smith, but to your point, this defensive front, watch them just hold their points, hold their gaps, getting off a block. Really nice job there by Linneas Davis, utilizing his hands and then just hanging on.
This is a really good run defense, Yogi. We're seeing it in a number of ways, none bigger than right there on a 4th and 2 stop. But now Damon Williams in the Washington offense backed up inside their own 5. They'll have Jonah Coleman in the backfield with him. From his own end zone, Damon looking for Denzel Boston. That ball a little low.
Last time Washington was on the road, Damon Williams struggled. Right?
Yeah.
Multiple turnovers, sack, caused fumble, and they played on the road at Michigan. Uncharacteristic to who he's been since he's gotten to this Washington program. Played last year, over 200 snaps as a true freshman. Backed up at Camp Randall. Not necessarily the easiest of places.
No doubt. 2nd and 10. Handoff. Jonah Coleman trying to spin out of a tackle, but won't get there. Brought down by Deani Hill, who came in as questionable coming in with an injury, but comes up with a big stop there to force a 3rd and long.
Yeah, watch Hill right here. He's going to kind of knife his way into the backfield. Really good call here by defensive coordinator Mike Dressel.
Let's take a listen. Really good penetration there from Ben Barton as well, one of the big defensive linemen. So got to be careful now for Damon Williams, 3 yards deep in his own end zone on 3rd and long. Flushed out, rolling right, got it complete. Jonah Coleman, another big stick. Kamir Latimer.
You'll see this today, Rhett, especially on 3rd down. It's a trend in college football. Playing with a middle safety. Keep an eye right here. This is Matt Young. As the play unfolds, that's Denzel Boston. He's going to cheat that way. Really nice job understanding who the primary receiver is for Washington. Saying, okay, you can check it down. We'll rally to the football. And right now, Wisconsin, they don't have one missed tackle in this game. They've leveraged the football tremendously.
Luke Dunn out to punt it away for Washington into the hands of Tyrell Henry. He's got a little bit of room. And Wisconsin will begin their 3rd possession inside Washington territory. Back in 15 seconds.
On a slippery Fansville.
I'm number 1.
Look, our QB's on the draft slide.
Any minute now.
Oh, he's going. I don't think I've ever seen someone slide so far.
College football, it's a Pepper thing.
Right now, the first 250 fans will get $20 off a Big Ten Plus annual pass. Stream nearly 2,700 more events across the Big Ten this season. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to BigTenPlus.com and make sure you enter FB20 when selecting an annual pass at checkout to take advantage of this offer. Carter Smith trying to take advantage of some good field position after the punt. That 1st down play going nowhere.
Yeah, you got to be careful with the ball. Ball security is going to be a primary right now for Wisconsin. If you want to upset one of the top 25 teams in America, drops the snap. You know, lucky this isn't catastrophic. A little low, but this is a baseball player first.
That's right. That's right.
His dad drafted Major League Baseball. He's been around athletics his entire life. But there are some jitters. There are a little bit of nerves.
Middle infielder hands. Another QB read, and Carter Smith keeps it again, and a big gain on 2nd and long. X3 Alexander, the linebacker for Washington, coming up with the stop after a 9-yard run.
It's so hard to stop the zone read game, especially when you have an athlete like Carter Smith who's running downhill. Is he going to hand it to his back, Gideon Atuka? Is he going to keep it on his own? Now, what they haven't done yet is throw it. They've just ran it 10 consecutive snaps.
Outside of the penalty that wiped out the 1 pass attempt for Smith on that first drive that he was in for the injured Danny O'Neal, taken off on a cart. Keep monitoring that situation for you. Here's Carter Smith, pitch out, Gideon Atuka on 3rd and short. Not going to get there, 1.5 yards shy. Dakario Davis and Zach Durfee in on the stop for Washington. And that could be the final play of the 1st quarter here.
If I'm Wisconsin, we come on back. I'm going for it. Why not? Let it ride today with your freshman quarterback.
So from the 35, Luke Fickell with the decision to make. Kick or put the ball back in the hands of your true freshman quarterback. Score from Madison as we start the second quarter. A moment ago, Danny Rogers catching up with Washington head coach Jedd Fisch.
Coach, a true freshman quarterback checks in for Wisconsin, Carter Smith. What's the number one way you need your defense to adjust to him?
Well, I think we just keep playing the way we're playing defense. They're not really throwing the football, so it's all run game right now, so we got to continue to defend that.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Danny, thank you. Thanks to Jedd Fisch as well, whose defense has to be back out on the field because Luke Fickell going for it once again. A 4th and 2. Full house backfield here. And Carter Smith takes the snap. He's got the first down and more inside the 30.
This is impressive from offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes. They love this play where they're going to pitch it out here. They've run it 3 times in the first quarter. They fake the pitch. He follows his offensive lineman, Joe Brunner. Nice job. And then it's just the athleticism of this true freshman. That fake does just enough to slow down the safety, Alex McLaughlin, and they finally get a 4th down conversion.
Offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes telling us that Brunner, a guy that he trusts, guy that he likes, guy that he values his opinion. Brunner saying that this group of offensive linemen finally starting to come together. Helped convert on 4th down. Big stick as Carter Smith was going to the end zone for Dekel Crowdis. Ball falls incomplete. Toughness from the freshman.
Yeah, well, there's something about playing football. You want to get that first hit. You're a true freshman, right? You remember back in the day. There it is. Going to climb the ladder and gets popped by the other true freshman, Rylan Dillard Allen.
Oh boy, he's got some edge. He's got some competitiveness. Loves to bring it and firing up that Washington defense with the hit.
It's amazing. I mean, 2 weeks ago he was on the scout team. They move him in the bye week to practice with the offense.
Fake the give to Keklahoon on the end around. Carter Smith again trying to pick his way through the Washington defense. Brought down by another true freshman, Zadrius Rainey Saleh. Guy they absolutely love and thinks is a future star at linebacker.
Well, they want to keep the tempo going here just to keep that defensive personnel the same for Washington.
And Smith with a little pressure, able to get by McEllisteen on the run. Smith looking end zone for the running back. Atuka found his way all the way down field, but that ball also falls incomplete. Another 4th down now for the Badgers.
Playmaking ability is on display from this true freshman. Had a chance to make a big completion down the field, but it'll be lessons learned for him. And now again, inside the fridge red zone, can you come away with points if you're Wisconsin?
So again, Nathaniel Vakos lining up, 42-yard field goal attempt. Missed from 48 back in the first quarter. Hold is down. Kick is good. And Wisconsin has the lead. Up 3-0 and a little bit of momentum now for this Badgers team. And some happy fans here at Camp Randall. Well, today's team comparison brought to you by Ace Hardware, looking at 2 absolutely picturesque settings. Madison, Wisconsin, Seattle, Washington. 2 UWs. Founded within 13 years of each other. Back in the old 1800s. Huskies and the Badgers, just the 5th overall meeting between these 2 teams. Washington winners in each of the previous 4. Last time, 1992. Barry Alvarez was coaching the Wisconsin Badgers. They took on the defending national champion Washington Huskies. That one in Seattle. But right now, it's the Wisconsin Badgers with the advantage. After the Nathaniel Vakos field goal, has them up 3-0 as we get set to see Damon Williams taking this offense back out onto the field once again.
Yeah, the whole UW thing is pretty fun. You know,
it is.
The Big Ten, Madison's the city to go to in the old Big Ten. Now with this new Big Ten, the Big Ten is at Seattle. You have fun little debate there. Who's going to claim the UW here tonight?
For Washington, obviously, college football playoff rankings, college football playoff berth very much in the conversation. Number 23 in the initial rankings that came out on Tuesday. Keep stacking wins. That number goes down. and Jonah Coleman. Rather, Adam Muhammad was the back end, but Damon Williams on the keeper. Thomas Heiberger stops him for no gain.
You know, Wisconsin, when they are at their best, Red, they're going to move the defensive front pre-snap. It's called stemming. You're going to move the defensive line. You're going to move the linebackers. They haven't done it in a couple weeks at the pace they did early on in the season. We saw them do it prior to that snap. That's a challenge in the quarterback decision-making world.
Damon Williams, look at that, only the third Big Ten player since 2000 with over 250 passing yards, on average, and over 50 rushing yards. Incredible dual threat. Amari Evans, the intended receiver, on that throw that falls incomplete.
And a rare miss. I mean, Damon Williams, tremendously accurate as a passer. Stood in the pocket, saw an exotic pressure, just sat there. He usually converts that. So they got to settle here on a third down because this defense, they're going to put both linebackers up at the line of scrimmage. There'll be 5 defenders at the line of scrimmage. Who blitzes, who doesn't? That is a chess match Damon Williams has to figure out.
Empty backfield as it looks now on a 3rd and 10 for Damon Williams. That's how it stays. Good protection. And then that protection breaks down, and Damon Williams, what he does so well, Williams still moving. Breaking tackles now inside Badger territory from the 38, a 36-yard gain on the scramble.
Yeah, there's just no defense for this right here. Watch the pressure up front. It's a really nice job of staying in the pass rush lanes. Mason Riger, 22, trying to get an arm on him, but the athleticism of Damon Williams, look at it. It's easy for him. 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm going to utilize my legs, and there's no defense for that, Rhett. There is no defense for that type of athlete with his speed at the quarterback position.
Approaching on 500 rushing yards this season to give to Adam Muhammad now. His 41st carry of the season goes nowhere.
We talked to Jed Fish, who's also the play caller at Washington. What's it like calling plays for Damon Williams? Because it's the most dynamic player he's ever called plays for in his illustrious career as an offensive coordinator or a head coach. And he goes, well, if I call bad play, sometimes he can make it look really good, but also understanding that he can go 1, 2, 3. If they're not open, he can trust his athleticism to get the first down.
Yeah, Jed's saying Damon has changed the way that he calls plays. And Williams complete. Now that one to Raiden Vinesbride, another one of that trio of talented true freshman receivers for the Huskies. A gain of 6. But Damon, again, like so good for Jed Fish. He doesn't want to rely on the skill set too much, but wants the call plays to accentuate the skill set. It is a fine line for the Huskies play caller. And this is a dangerous down and distance for a Wisconsin defense. Damon going to keep it again, gets the edge and gets the first down, pushed out of bounds by Ricardo Hallman as we go down to Danny Rogers.
Jed Fish and Damon Williams have a really good open relationship with each other. They meet for 1 hour every Wednesday, and that's so Coach Fish can go over the options in terms of what plays to run. He asked Damon, hey, do you want A or B? Because when Damon's out here on the field, he can't talk back to his his play caller and tell him what he wants. So it's a really good relationship budding there in Seattle with Fish and Damon.
I feel like that's the next step for quarterbacks and play callers, right? When you can talk about what you like, what you love, why you like those plays. Likes that one. As Denzel Boston comes up with another grab from Damon Williams.
Denzel Boston is so talented as a route runner, really taking his game to another level. Watch this route, just break it off this time right at the sticks. Knows exactly where he needs to get. Remember early in the game, the 4th down, they don't convert it. It's a little short. I'm sure he had a conversation with Kevin Cummings, his wide receiver coach, said, hey, when it's tight, make sure you get 2 yards past the first down marker.
We'll talk about a coaching job. Kevin Cummings getting 3 true freshman receivers ready to roll. And speaking of rolling, that's what Damon Williams is doing, rolling out, but nobody home into the end zone, going to throw that away.
Yeah, and it's important to note as he's pressured there by the edges of Wisconsin, Darrell Peterson, he's missing the first half due to a targeting penalty against the Oregon Ducks. There's been 2 plays thus far in this first half where Damon Williams has found the edge. So again, you go back to the word leverage, leverage, leverage. That's all Luke Fickell and his staff has talked about, meaning keep Damon Williams on your inside shoulder. Keep him coming back to the field where you have help, where there's 10 other defenders.
No Jonah Coleman on this drive. It's been all Adam Muhammad as we are now in the red zone here for Washington. And Mason Riger's going to get tagged for a personal foul, hitting Damon Williams after the whistle that initially stopped the play. Luke Fickle's not going to like it.
Offense number 86. 5-yard penalty. It's second down.
They're not going to. It looked like an extra flag came out when Riger made that contact, but it might have just been the second recognition of the false start. That was some contact on the play that didn't count.
We spent time with Riger yesterday. Here he is at the bottom of the screen there.
Looked like the official was already in the process of throwing the flag, but Riger, along with Sebastian Cheeks, getting more playing time, getting the start for Daryl Peterson, who's out in the first half. We're welcoming back in the second half as a result of the targeting penalty against Oregon. We got a timeout on the field. So Yogi, for this Washington offense, they've been able to move the ball, right? And when it's come down to it, turnover on downs, haven't been able to really kind of continue the momentum once they've gotten down the field into Washington territory, or into Wisconsin territory.
Well, they've really struggled running the football against this front seven. Damon Williams got the longest run of the night thus far, 36 yards. That's all they have total rushing. And Jonah Coleman, we haven't seen him, to your point, on this drive. Adam Muhammad hasn't done much. So that's where this thing starts. This linebacking group has done a really nice job. We see Jonah Coleman coming back in for this offense. But here we are on second down. You got to play the situation. You want to come away with points if you're Washington here on this drive. So no sacks, no forced throws for Damon Williams.
Yeah, as it stands now, very much in Grady Gross field goal range. 2nd and 15 after the false start. Damon looking for a shot to Denzel Boston. Incomplete. That ball sailing out of bounds. Deani Hill in on the coverage.
Yeah, this is a really nice job by these corners. What they're trying to do against Damon Williams is bait him into throws. So they're going to play near the line of scrimmage. On the snap, they're going to act like they're doing that, and then they're going to drop into coverage. Lucky there wasn't a turnover there. There you see it at the top of the screen. That's Hill. Look at his eyes the whole time. Whenever a DB is looking back at the quarterback, they're playing zone coverage. They're trying to manipulate his decision. Here it comes on a third down. They've got to have integrity in their pass rush here, Rhett, and keep an eye on the legs of Damon Williams.
Blood pressure rising a bit inside Camp Randall for 3rd and long. Damon Williams corrals the snap, evades the rush, looking for Vines Bright. Just out of his grasp. Would have been an incredible catch, but a nice throw by Williams on the run.
This was incredible in so many different areas. Let's talk about Damon Williams. The throw, almost the fingertip grab, just can't complete it. Wow. True freshman right there trying to make a play, but that was forced a little early because of the pass rush from the defensive line.
So here comes Grady Gross. 6 of 8 on field goals so far this year from 42, and that one is through. So Washington answers the Wisconsin field goal with 3 points of their own. 3 all, under 10 to play in the half. Center. See that win over Northern Illinois. You want to talk about patience for Chris McIntosh and Luke Fickle? How about the fact that Greg Gard was, at least from the external perception, under the hot seat a little bit. Maybe the fans growing weary, but he modernized the offense. Chris McIntosh sticking with guard and patience has paid off on that front. Vinny Anthony back deep to receive this kick from Ethan Machowski, and that'll go into the end zone, and we go down to the field to Danny Rogers.
After that Washington field goal, a really interesting sight here down on the sideline. Offensive lineman Carver Willis called together the entire offense, held court, and his biggest emphasis was do your job, finish this thing. Obviously, the offensive effort isn't good enough right now for a veteran like Willis.
Boy, and he is kind of like the big man on campus on that offensive line, kind of sets the tone, created confidence for that offensive line when he returned, not just for the true freshman starting next to him in John Mills, but all the way to the right tackle and beyond. See if he can rally the troops there on offense. Right now, it's Carter Smith's turn for Wisconsin. And he's going to keep it once again where he's been dangerous thus far, just going to get out of bounds. Minimal gain. Taking a look at the play selection, I don't know that there really is a selection. It's been run the football.
Yeah, well, I think when you talk about a position group here at Wisconsin that we just haven't been able to see highlighted all season, it's the receivers.
Yeah.
And a big part of that is the quarterback play, the offensive line, revolving door that's been at both of those spots. They're going to see a ton of man coverage. This is what Washington does with their 2 6'4" corners. They're going to have to beat it.
Quick throw. And the first completion for Wisconsin today will have to wait. Deshaun Lynch getting a big paw on that quick throw.
Yeah, Lynch almost took this one back to the house. Nice job just understanding what's coming on that inside tunnel screen. Anthony all over it.
Wisconsin's had 3 consecutive 8-play drives, but that streak surely in peril here as a 3rd and long stands in their way. 0 for 4 so far on 3rd downs. Smith, pressure comes. Sacked by Jacob Lane. His 3rd sack of the season. It's a big one to force a punt.
This is a nice job from every layer of this defense. Watch number 12 right here. He's going to make it happen. Alex McLaughlin, he starts near the line of scrimmage. Then he goes all the way back to the deep safety. Carter Smith's holding on to it. What do I do? What do I do? Here comes the pressure. And then there's the coverage. A completely different coverage post-snap that Carter Smith saw pre-snap. And for a true freshman, that's just a challenge.
No question. Punt is blocked. The punt is blocked by Washington. Recovery at the 1-yard line. Anthony Ward comes up with the block for the Washington punt return team, punt block team on this play.
Yeah, you watch the right side of this punt block unit. Anthony Ward and company untouched back in to the punter. Hands below the eye. That's perfect. That's perfect execution. And a sudden change for Jed Fish and company.
Now Wisconsin, unfortunately, has been here before, had 2 punts blocked already this season. And that one sets this Husky offense up with a prime time scoring opportunity.
The previous play is under further review.
Perhaps giving a chance to look at where this ball was recovered.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. So perfect block from Anthony Ward. I mean, clinic worthy, hands below the eyes. Nice job.
Make the diamond.
That's right. You've done the drill, right?
I usually missed.
Let's take a look at where the recovery is.
Well, it does look like that ball scoots into the end zone. Now, would that turn this into a safety if it's in the grasp of West, the punter?
I'm curious when they say they control the ball.
Yeah, that's what you're looking at here.
I don't think he is, Brent.
Let's bring in our rules expert, Steve Stremling, for another look here.
Yeah, you can see the ball loose under the punter, and they ruled that he recovered it in the field of play. You have to have a replay that ball continued to be loose and the control is actually in the end zone. I don't see enough to change this. I see why they're looking at it, but they're going to have to see that ball was clearly in the end zone without control rather than sliding them back.
That the ball was recovered at the 1-yard line is upheld. It's 1st and goal, Washington.
Certainly worth taking a look. Thanks, Steve. Brian Banks on the call. Play upheld. Recovery puts it at the 1-yard line. And I would imagine Jonah Coleman's got a big old target on his back right now for this Wisconsin defense. And he'll get the carry, but he is stuffed. Wisconsin with a big stop on 1st down. Ben Barton leading the charge.
Barton, Perkins, I mean, just getting low. And you're right, Jonah Coleman, he's that guy when you need to find the end zone.
more touchdowns this season for Coleman than the entirety of the Wisconsin offense. Will he add another? It's going to be a throw. Denzel Boston, one-hand touchdown, Huskies. Eighth receiving touchdown of the season for Boston, might be his most impressive.
Man coverage against the best corner for Wisconsin, Ricardo Hallman. Nice job attacking inside. There's contact, no call. And then how about just understand when to open up his hips to make that one-handed grab.
Extra point from Gross is up and good. Denzel Boston. Red zone reception and touchdown king. His 12th touchdown inside the red zone of his career puts the Huskies on top. 10-3. Peril against Penn State today. A late interception from Fernando Mendoza turned into a touchdown for Penn State that gave them the lead, but Mendoza, like he did against Iowa and against Oregon, bounced back with a drive inside the final 2 minutes and what ended up being a game-winning score to Omar Cooper. It might have been one of the best touchdown catches of the season. Vinny Anthony on the return here for Wisconsin. That ball will come out just shy of the 25-yard line. Today's hardest working player is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Denzel Boston hard at work today. 6 catches on 8 targets.
Yeah, he's been impressive and had done it in a variety of different ways, a bunch of different locations. Quick game, get the ball, a quick little screen, see if you can get the ball downfield, finding zones, holes in defense. Then he gets man-to-man coverage in the red zone, something he's done since he showed up in Seattle. And it's been impressive. You just look at the story of him and the players he's learned from. Rome Odunze, Jalen Polk, Jalen McMillan, 3 players in the National Football League. He was the young buck. He was the freshman back in the day. And now he's the guy. And I really think we'll see I almost threw a flag there for a little extracurricular. But
thought about it.
I think that he's really taken the next step in his development. And Jed Fish referenced it to us this week of wideouts sometimes they make a decision, and you're going to train like an NFL player. You're going to prepare like a pro.
Talked to Rome Odunze this week, who echoed those sentiments that Denzel was making splash plays like we saw on that one-handed touchdown catch just a moment ago. Early on in his career, knew he had NFL player type of potential, certainly showing that now. Second down carry from Gideon Atuka, brought down after no gain. Look at that 2022 wide receiver room. Insane. Rome Odunze out there to the left. Jalen Polk, number 2. How about Jalen McMillan, number 11? Those are all 3 NFL players right now.
And then in the back.
There he is. There's Denzel Boston.
The young pup.
It's kind of been a circle of life type feeling for these Huskies, right? Because that trio helping bring Denzel Boston along. He's now helping bring along a new trio of true freshman wide receivers. Third down to the true freshman Carter Smith at quarterback. Pressure in his face, just going to dirt it to Cario Davis, the corner coming up to provide the pressure, and the pass game just not getting off the ground.
Well, look, I think really good coaches make adjustment at halftime. Exceptional coaches make adjustments in game. And you're watching Washington do that in this game. They're saying, okay, Carter Smith is the quarterback. It's been all run game or these quick perimeter throws, so we need to make sure that someone is in his face as quickly as possible. So it looks like there's going to be blitz from the linebackers over the center. It's not. It's actually from the corner.
Wisconsin had a punt blocked last time out, not this one. Sean West gets that away. And it's Boston who's going to return it, but not for much. Wrapped up pretty quickly by the Wisconsin Badgers. Take a look at the first installment of the college football playoff bracket as we see those top seeds. Ohio State and Indiana repping the Big Ten. Obviously Oregon in there at number 9. Maybe a little bit of a cause for disagreement from the Ducks fan base there, but as it stands, they would be playing in that first round, which begins Friday, December 19th. Ohio State, Indiana, already winners today, will remain those top 2 seeds. As Washington comes back out on offense. Play action for Damon Williams, looking to set something up, but he's got green grass in front. He'll take it, slide down, and was hit as he made that slide by Matt Young. So Denzel Boston caught that punt and is limping off. Had to get helped off, in fact, by Moore and Hyde. Danny?
Yeah, Boston literally hopped into the medical tent. He's still in there currently, and Washington is without their starting center, Landon Hatchett. He has a club on his right hand, so he physically can't snap the ball, but he still has his helmet, so maybe they'll sub him in somewhere else on that O-line.
Good eye there, Danny. Zach Henning would be that next center in, and he is 58. So Landon usually plays right next to his brother, Garen Hatchett. So now Garen getting used to a new center right next to him. Same for Damon Williams. And a 3rd and short.
Yeah, and he's got Ben Barton right over the top of him.
Oh, little slide run, got it complete. It's Quentin Moore who is back into the Husky lineup after an injury against Rutgers. Forced him out the last 2 games, but that's a big spot for Moore.
Yeah, this is just so hard. I mean, imagine trying to play defense against Damon Williams. He's like a point guard. Well, what's he going to do? Ball out? Is he going to run it? And you're playing the edge, and you're Mason Posta, the true freshman. That's just a challenge. That's just a challenge. Posta's right there. What am I going to do? Is he going to run it? Is he going to throw it? And he just checks it down to the tight end, who they have missed.
15-yard gain for Moore. Another passing opportunity here, setting up a screen. Damon Williams, 3 offensive linemen in front, and he is going to get the first down. Jonah Coleman gets that screen pass from Damon Williams. Mason Posa on the tackle after a gain of 11.
You know, what's the first thing that defensive coordinator Mike Tressel told us? Is that they got 3 dudes, like real dudes, and that's the second one limping off. Boston was 1, Coleman limping a little bit there. And of course, Damon Williams being the other one.
Fresh set of downs now for the Husky offense from the 36. Good protection for Williams, taking a deep shot for Desmond Roebuck, and it's picked off. Picked off by Ricardo Hallman. That ball short and inside, and the Wisconsin defense steps up.
Ricardo Hallman plays both sides of the field as a corner. He's so experienced. Watch him here. As the play develops, he's going to keep working towards the sideline, but his eyes are inside the entire time. He's watching Damon Williams. Is he going to throw it? Trying to squeeze the receiver. Williams throws up a prayer. It's an easy interception for the veteran. And there is Rico Hallman. 2 years ago, 7 interceptions. Finally gets one here, his 2nd of the season.
I want to talk about a guy with some pride for this program, right? Been around, seen it all here at Wisconsin, and trying to be a foundation for the future. Comes up with the interception and the first takeaway of the day for Wisconsin.
Yeah, and look, you got to talk about Damon Williams. Your top 2 players are out, right? Think about it. As Wisconsin finally gets a turnover, they're dying to get one. But for Damon Williams, Boston's out, Coleman's out. To me, just trying to do too much. I mean, it wasn't a good decision for a guy who traditionally has made very high percentage decisions as a quarterback.
Yeah, the ball more inside than underthrown there. Really an easy pick for Hallman. And we're going to have early movement from the left tackle, Riley Mahlman.
Offense for 71. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Let's go to Dave Rebson in Chicago for a studio update.
Yeah, Red Rutgers is about to finish off Maryland. Antoine Raymond, 240 rushing yards in this game. Most for any Big Ten player this season. It's 35-20. Scarlet Knights very late in the game, guys.
Big bounce back, wow, for Rutgers. We saw him just 2 weeks ago in that dramatic win on a field goal over Purdue. Tough loss last week, bouncing back now against Maryland. Gideon Atuka bouncing off tacklers. Eventually brought down Alex McLaughlin in on that tackle from his safety spot. They're going to move the sticks, a 9-yard gain.
Atuka runs every time with the ball like it's the last time he's going to run the ball. I mean, he is running with such violence and such force. He is falling forward every single time. We talked to him earlier this week. He was so honored, so excited to be here, get a little help from his lead blocker and anchor, and he's having a whale of a game coming off a pretty impressive game against the Oregon Ducks 2 weeks ago.
No question, first career start. Got his dad and a few of his siblings in the stands for the first time seeing him play. But his teammate Jackson Aker on the carry this time shut down on that play before it even got started. Deshaun Lynch.
Timeout, Washington. It's their second of the half.
And Washington ahead of the 2-minute timeout is going to call a timeout of their own. We'll be back at 30 seconds as Denzel Boston is on a cart. Concerning moment here for the Washington Huskies, up 10-3, just north of the 2-minute timeout, and Denzel Boston out of the game right now on a cart, going back to the Washington locker room after fielding a punt and limping off the field. Updates to come. Carter Smith, though, working his way through that Washington defense. Another look here at the punt return.
Yeah, it just looks like when he starts to get tackled, you can see it from up here, just trying to pivot a little too much. Look at that left foot.
Stretch Kekuna, starting receiver, in there on punt team. And we have reached the 2-minute timeout. Wisconsin with a third down opportunity when we return. Coming up at the half, we'll send it to Dave Revson, Howard Griffith, and former Husky Marcel Reese for the halftime report, sponsored by Old Trapper. Marcel get a chance to evaluate his defense here on a third down for Wisconsin, still looking for their first completion in this game. Last time a Big Ten team went 0 for on pass completions in a first half, Illinois, nearly a decade ago. Smith, sprint out, oh nice, incomplete, would have been well short, and another punt coming for the Badgers.
Alex McLaughlin all over that. He's been such an impressive player. Safety on the motion, he beats the motion with his speed. His eyes are on it the entire time. Last minute he sees it, tackles the upfield shoulder, breaks up the pass. He's a real talented player. Watch him on the motion. He's gonna beat the motion over the top. That's what you have to do as a defensive back. Clinic-worthy job by the transfer from Northern Arizona, who's truly bet on himself. Now a Big Ten starter for this defense.
Wish my GPS would give directions like that, like he had to the ball. And so another punt, this time coming down in the hands of Rashawn Clark. Rashawn Clark, the nickelback for the Husky defense, stepping in for the injured Denzel Boston. Again, went out on a cart just a moment ago. Now under 2 minutes to play. Oh, trivia.
I like this, I like this.
All right, so the college football playoff ranked 7 Big Ten teams this week, a conference record. How many consecutive weeks has the CFP #1 team been from the Big Ten?
Okay, so if we're gonna go like just CFP rankings, last year I'm gonna go.
Today's trivia question, of course, sponsored by T-Mobile. As you take a look, 6 weeks. Oregon.
Oh yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, way longer. Yeah, my bad.
Okay.
Maybe 12. I'll go 13. I'll go 13.
Wisconsin in that number as we speak, will probably stay there. Adam Muhammad in at running back as Jonah Coleman also limped off on their last possession. Coleman getting called here. Coleman spinning forward. We'll give him a gain of 8. 8 weeks. Okay. Oregon had 6 last year, Michigan 1, and then Ohio State with the first one of this year. Got a flag down. Brian Banks will let us know what the call is. 1:32 left. Wisconsin will get the ball to start the second half, so great opportunity for Washington here in the middle 8. Last 4 minutes of the first half.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct foul. Offense number 50 for pulling the opponent off the pile. It's a 15-yard penalty. The down counts. It's third down. As we're under 2 minutes and the clock is running and that caused the clock to stop, it's a 10-second runoff. Washington's not elected to not take a timeout. Game clock operator, please set the game clock to 1 minute and 22 seconds.
Shout out Brian Banks.
Correction,
Mouthful.
it's second down. It's second down. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's kind of like the trifecta: penalty, down counts, and 10-second runoff.
And they took that timeout with about 2:16 remaining in this half to try to do what they're doing now, to get a drive going, but you're so backed up here.
Put it in Damon Williams' hands once again. He's going to try to run it, and he is met and hit hard. Cooper Catalano on the stop.
Yeah, now here comes the timeout, Wisconsin. This is a nice job of just clock management here.
Second of the half. 30 seconds.
All right, so a 3rd and long coming for Washington. We're back at 15. 70 seconds left in the first half. Wisconsin called the timeout. Hopefully they get a stop here on 3rd and long. And Damon Williams gets out of trouble. Still looking. And now just going to throw it away. But the Wisconsin defense with some big-time pressure. Mason Reiger comes up with that pressure to force the throwaway.
Well, how about Luke Fickell, being aggressive and taking the timeout? He could have easily just let's just get to halftime, no problem. We're going to get the ball coming out of the half. Says, no, we don't do that. Calls a timeout. They bring pressure. Damon Williams showcases athleticism, but the back end stays home. There's nothing there, and Damon Williams takes a shot a little bit into the band. He's limping as well.
Well, big 3 for the Huskies. Somebody get a hand on that ball. Knuckler off the foot of Luke Dunn will give Wisconsin some tremendous field position with 52 seconds left in this first half.
And 1 timeout. So you go to your menu in your 2-minute offense here, and right now you're just trying to come away with points. You hear it every week. It's the middle 8, the last 4 minutes. Take a look at this punt. Almost blocked. Looks like it was clean. Just shanked a little bit to the right. And now Wisconsin is in business.
Tyrese Fearby got close, but it was clean. And so now on the plus side of the 50.
Yeah, it's Hunter Simmons.
Hunter Simmons in.
I like this call. He's the better passer. He knows this offense. He's been in games.
Started the last 4 for Wisconsin. And he's got it complete, and we have our first completion of the first half. It's Tretch Kekahuna off the right arm of Hunter Simmons, fresh into the game.
Well, the clock is running here, so you have to be all over it right now if you're Hunter Simmons.
Now they'll run it. Gideon Atuka, not much there. And now we'll have that final timeout from Wisconsin.
Timeout, Wisconsin. It's their 3rd and final. It'll be 30 seconds.
Plenty of high fives in the crowd beneath us here, cheering that first completion of the game. 4 starts for Hunter Simmons. Struggled a little bit, played some tough opponents certainly. Last one in the rain at Autzen Stadium. Doesn't get more difficult than that. But Simmons certainly into the game to provide some of that passing element to this offense. And Carter Smith, look, again, we could go back to it. Like, how big was his menu of plays going into this game?
Clearly a running threat. Now here comes Simmons. If I'm him right now, I'd work in between the hashes. There's more than enough time here, and that's often in these types of situations where you can find creases of this defense. Keep an eye on Tretch Kekahuna, number 2. He's in the slot right over the W for Wisconsin.
Such a dynamic playmaker, so good in space. 3rd and 5 for Simmons. Got it complete. It's Chris Brooks. And a first down for Wisconsin. Clock will stop temporarily to reset the chains inside of 2 minutes. 12-yard gain.
This has got to either be a completion.
Looked like there might have been some confusion there as to what Wisconsin wanted to do. The receivers did not get off the line.
I think people thought he was going to spike it.
Yeah.
And that's what it looks like to me. Some of the receivers, I don't know if enough people were on or off the line of scrimmage.
Great call.
And that was one player downfield. Offense number 78. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's the right guard, Colin Cubberly. Might have been a miscommunication on that front, too.
Yeah, from here, the receivers are saying, I thought you were going to spike it.
Yeah, you can see Brooks is saying, what are we doing, guys? Cubberly thought it was a run.
Yeah, and he's clearly downfield, about 5-6 yards. Self-inflicted negative right there, and this is why Hunter Simmons is in the game. He's got to have mastery around this situation. 18 seconds, more than enough time to put yourself into manageable field goal range.
Simmons, 1st and 15 on the run. A little low, looking for Vinny Anthony. And now the clock will stop at 12 seconds. So now you're thinking, all right, how many plays to get a field goal off? Flag comes down.
And this might be on Atuka. I mean, there was a lot of jarring going on there, and this is just knowing the situation. And whichever side it's on, this is going to be a huge penalty. It was right in front of the official.
If this is a 15-yarder, you're now out of field goal range.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct foul, offense number 10. It's a 15-yard penalty. The down counts. It's 2nd down. It's number 10's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
So Gideon Atuka gets called for the unsportsmanlike, bumping Rainey Saleh, the true freshman linebacker for Washington. Looked like he was trying to stand up for his teammate, but again, you got to be smart in these situations.
You got to know the situation, right? You got to know the situation. You got to get back on the line of scrimmage. You got to get the play after an incomplete.
And so now we'll have a 2nd and 30, but that's not about down and distance here. It's about time, and it's about can we get back into field goal range if you're Wisconsin.
Yeah, see if you can get a completion in the seam, get as much as you can, then you got to spike the ball.
And they're just going to run it. It's Darian Dupree with his first carry. Richard, fresh sophomore running back. It's questionable coming in, but that is going to do it for the first half. So a great opportunity for Wisconsin squandered with the penalty.
And I think that's the story for Wisconsin. You got missed field goals, missed opportunities, special teams errors. I mean, they're right in this ball game. They have to reset at halftime. They get the ball coming out. And for Washington, the question is, your big three, how healthy are they in Williams, Coleman, and Boston?
Certainly an opportunity for Wisconsin, knowing the questionable status of Damon Williams, Jonah Coleman, Denzel Boston, and for more on Washington, we send it down to Danny Rogers.
Coach, your offense looked great when Damon was able to find Denzel in the end zone. What's it going to take to consistently move the ball here?
Well, we got to get Denzel, see if he's healthy, see if Jonah's healthy, and then we got to pass protect better, and we got to make some more plays.
How healthy is Damon Williams right now, too?
He's good. He's great.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
All right, so there's a little bit of a sigh of relief for Husky fans. Damon Williams will begin the second half despite limping at the end there. But a touchdown pass to Denzel Boston. Wisconsin with opportunities. Got to minimize the mistakes. Coming up after a quick break, we'll send it to Dave and the gang for the halftime report, sponsored by Old Trafford. Have some precipitation here in Madison as the rain comes down, freezing rain, 30-degree temps as we get set to kick off the second half. Washington leads Wisconsin 10-3 in a Denzel Boston touchdown. But for Wisconsin, one thing you can hang your hat on right now is your rush defense. They've held 5 opponents so far this season under 100 yards rushing, well on their way to a 6th tonight.
Yeah, they did a nice job. They're so gap sound. The word of the week was leverage, making sure you leverage, whether it's Jonah Coleman or Damon Williams. This linebacking core, this defensive front led by Mason Reiger, they have done that, Rhett. If they continue to do that, pending the health of Jonah Coleman and company, look out. And if they stop having these self-inflicted negatives, look out as well. The punt block, not making a field goal. I mean, Wisconsin has hurt themselves. They're right in this game.
And the opening kick of the second half will bounce through the end zone, and we go down to Danny Rogers.
At the half, Wisconsin head coach Luke Fickell let out a good laugh and said, good question in regards to what the quarterback plan is moving forward. But he did tell me the true freshman Carter Smith will be the one coming out of the gates here in the second half. He has more of the juice. In terms of the defense for the Badgers, Coach Fickell said they are playing great. And in terms of special teams and that blocked punt in the first half, Coach Fickell takes a lot of pride in the special teams unit here at Wisconsin, especially the punting group. He said, that's on me. I've got to do better.
Yeah, emphasize Danny's point on the run game as well. Gideon Atuka in the run game, getting the lion's share of the carries for Wisconsin. We'll go for 5 to open the half here. That Wisconsin defense, I mean, they've limited Jonah Coleman and Adam Muhammad to just 8 yards on 8 carries. The thing that's hurt them is Damon Williams on the scrambles, and that's what they'll look to make some adjustments to here when they get out on the field for the first time. There's a look at Carter Smith, still looking for that first completion, but has been effective on the ground.
He's got to find a way just to continue to make high percentage decisions. Sometimes in these games, they get tight. In major college football, you want to put it all in your hands.
And Smith, rolled out, big hit. Devin Bryant dislodges that ball from the grasp of Vinny Anthony. Bring up a third down.
Wow, this is awesome. Hey, the play design's impressive. The throw's on point, but the hit, to your point, clinic worthy. Really nice job by Bryant, hitting low, under the numbers, in real speed. Boom.
That is textbook tackling in a targeting world right now where that could have been trouble. You're kind of licking your chops right there if you're the defender, but excellent discipline from Devin Bryant, and now a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, he's got to navigate number 12 right there over the middle of the screen, McLaughlin.
Darian Dupree in at running back. He gets the fake, and Carter Smith going back across the field. Lance Mason reaching across the line to gain. They're going to give him credit for the reach as the ball came out late. And they are. And Wisconsin will have the first down of the second half. Thought that ball was going to Dupree.
Same here. How about this? And you can see the rain there. Nice job by the officials. Are looking at the knee. Where's the knee down? Where's the ball on the spot? And this Wisconsin team, every week, I know it hasn't been great. Missed an opportunity for a shot down the field.
Patience, Jaden.
Yeah. But they just keep playing so hard. They keep playing so hard, Brett. And I think what we've seen thus far on this drive is wrinkles from the first half. Fake the pitch, go the other way. Fake the toss, come out the back door, find your tight end. Sprint out, get your quarterback in space. I mean, Jeff Grimes has been doing this for a really long time, the offensive coordinator of Wisconsin. This isn't his blueprint offensively, but he's doing whatever it takes to win.
Well, yeah, I mean, we asked him, how much of your offense have you been able to run? And he had a one-word answer, none.
Yeah.
Gideon Atuka back in at running back on 2nd and 9. Carter Smith in the pocket. Had a chance. But Mason couldn't come up with it. Carter Smith, he's been doing it on the ground, did in the first half, 31 rushing yards. He gave a spark to this offense.
Yeah, he's exactly that. I mean, he's got an edge to him. He's got a competitive temperament to him that has elevated this team, has excited this crowd. They've been clamoring to see him from the fan base. They're getting a large dose of him due to the injury to Danny O'Neal, but he's got to get the ball out. He had a chance for a completion. He's a little too late on this drive, twice now to his receivers.
3rd and long. They're just going to hand it off, and that play's going nowhere. Atuka brought down. Rashawn Clark coming up from his nickel spot to make that stop in the backfield, and the punting team back out for Wisconsin.
No, Jed Fish said it to Danny Rogers before the half. You got to stop the run. It's kind of one-dimensional right now for Wisconsin outside of that 2-minute drill when Hunter Simmons came in the ball game. That's going to be the game plan. So for Wisconsin, next time they get the ball back, they're going to have to stretch the field a little bit, even if you just take a shot. They missed an opportunity to Ballard, as we showed earlier.
So West back out to punt. Desmond Roebuck, the true freshman, in to receive this punt for Washington due to the injury to Denzel Boston. Fake punt! Jackson Aker off the throw from West has the first down for Wisconsin. A big risk for Luke Fickell pays off with some momentum and a fresh set of downs for the Wisconsin offense. 24 yards on the fake punt completion.
Oh, this is great. Watch that man who has so many roles on this team. A little bit of a shed block, nobody there. Catches Washington off guard. The special teams, the story, and the 5th-year senior being the man celebrated right now, Jackson Aker.
Jackson Aker, who has kind of been a do-it-all guy for this team. He's carried the rock when they've needed him to. He's bowed his neck as a fullback when they've needed him to. Now comes up with a crucial fake punt connection to give this Wisconsin offense a little bit of life.
You know, so much in football setting things up. I got to imagine on the 3rd down, they ran it knowing they would get a certain return from Washington at this spot on the field. Because you're up here wondering, why are they running the ball?
Right.
Like, take a shot. They get nothing. They get the perfect return look to keep that fake on. And
great coordination with the coaching staff there. A kind of understanding on the headset. Hey, here's the plan. Here's what we're going to do. We like this if we get the look. Now Aker into the backfield. with Atuka. Going to be a throw. Going to go to Aker with Atuka blocking, but Aker tumbles with plenty of room in front of him.
These are all the things you learn as a player.
Yeah.
You know, when you're playing, it's touch, it's timing, it's the screen game, it's things that you really cannot recreate in practice.
So 3rd and 12 coming here. As you can see, it's been a heavy dose of run. Was in the first half. A little bit more here, a little bit more in the pass game so far in the second half. And now a 3rd and 12 for the true freshman Smith. Pressure off the edge. Didn't see it. Zach Durfee came free. And this ball was going forward. Yeah, that's going to be an incompletion there, right? Is that what it looks like?
Comes Zach Durfee, you'll see him, and to your point, never really seen. Oh, and I don't think that hand was going forward. So
but
nice job of getting back on it. And I'll tell you what, this Washington defense, Ryan Walters, defensive coordinator, they're showing one look and changing right at the snap, and they are making life really hard post-snap for this true freshman quarterback.
You ever seen 2 straight fake punts? Use it. Atticus Bertram this time will punt it away. And it is Roebuck going to make the return, but he'll get brought down pretty quickly, and a flag comes out. Terrific coverage from the Wisconsin punt team. Let's see what this flag is.
I guess that'd be on Washington.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 44. Half the distance to go from the end of the run. It's first down. Timeout.
The University of Washington Athletics Department and the Big Ten Network are heartbroken by the news of the passing of women's soccer student athlete Mia Hammond following a courageous battle with stage 4 kidney cancer. During pregame, the University of Wisconsin honored her here at Camp Randall with a moment of silence. Athletic Director Pat Chun is going to make the trip from here down to St. Louis to be with the soccer team as they play in the... Washington up 10-3, 5 minutes into the second half. Backed up after a block in the back penalty, starting this possession from their own 7. Denzel Boston back in the game. He's going to get the target and the catch from Damon Williams. Runs over Ricardo Hallman to pick up a few extra yards.
What a great sign for this Husky team. Also for Wisconsin, Darrell Peterson back in the game. Had to miss the first half due to a targeting penalty in their game 2 weeks ago in Eugene against Oregon.
Speaking of Oregon, down right now at Kenneck. Desmond Roebuck, the true freshman, will convert and give this Washington offense a fresh set of downs on that completion.
You know, we don't see Jonah Coleman in right now, but I'll just say this. Denzel Boston just being on the field elevates the group. He's the veteran player. He made a huge jump in the game against Illinois 2 weeks ago, where all of a sudden he became the leader, the voice, the guy. And I think just having him there is so beneficial for these other true freshman wide receivers.
Adam Muhammad in the game at running back. Fake goes to him, and Damon Williams trying to set up a tight end screen, going to dirt it, and we go to Dave Revson for a studio update.
Yeah, a lot of drama in Iowa City. Mark Gronowski capping off a 12-play, 93-yard drive with a touchdown run on 4th and goal. Iowa went for 2, didn't get it. They're down 1. The Ducks are now with the ball and 3 timeouts left. 16-15 Iowa.
Dave, thanks. So college football playoff implications there, not just for Oregon if they lose, but how about the win for Iowa? Jonah Coleman back into the game, but Adam Muhammad also in, and he gets this pass here from Williams. He'll connect.
Well, it goes all the way around. I mean, for Washington, it's a bit of rivalry with the Ducks, but they also want Oregon to win to potentially set up pseudo play-in game at the end of the season. So everybody's rooting for everybody here. But bottom line, it's a 3rd down, Denzel Boston in the game. I'd imagine they're going to try to find him here. But understand this, for Wisconsin. They've got to spy Damon Williams. And look at these linebackers up near the line of scrimmage. Mason Posa coming off the edge.
Scrambles have been the thing that's hurt this Wisconsin defense. Here on third down, flags will stop the play. Some early movement for the Huskies.
False start, offense number 86. 5-yard penalty, it's third down.
Decker DeGraff, the tight end, a little jumpy there, which will make this a 3rd and long. Remember, we told you the injury to Denzel Boston in the first half. Limped off after a punt return. Caught the first pass attempt from Damon Williams and kind of gingerly moving back to the huddle. He is still in the game on a crucial 3rd down. We've got shirts off in the stands. It's officially Big Ten football. Boston, bottom of your screen. Williams. No pressure, trying to sneak out of it. Doesn't get by Mason Posa, loses the football. Ball is on the ground. And Wisconsin has it.
This is all Mason Posa, the true freshman linebacker. Look at him, he came here for a reason, and he is having an impact. Watch him on this play. He's gonna start over the center, watch him loop. He's gonna loop all the way to the right, but the whole time, his hands and feet do not stop. He strips it, diving with his right arm, then falls on top with the ball. The true freshman making an impact. Double-digit tackles in his first start against the Ducks. And how about this impact inside the 10? Sudden change, Wisconsin.
Incredible play from the true freshman Posa. Now bringing another true freshman, Carter Smith, back out onto the field, ball in his hands. He can run it. Smith, reversing course, goes back towards the middle of the field and gets 5. But setting this Badgers team up with a 2nd and goal from the 2. So freshman to freshman here for Luke Fickell's squad.
Well, look, it's been a storyline all season long since they've been on this losing streak, and there's a huge part of excitement within the walls of this program about the young players. Defender making a big-time play, flipping to the offensive side. I'd imagine maybe a QB lead here.
2 tight ends and Acre in the ball game. Carter Smith, QB lead, Carter Smith. Touchdown, Badgers! So off the first opponent fumble recovered this season, forced by a true freshman, Carter Smith, the true freshman at quarterback, gets the first touchdown of the game for Wisconsin. Freshman of freshman, future bright for Luke Fickell's squad. Extra points, up and good. Posa, Smith, and the youthful Badgers now in a tie ball game here.
Well, they put it in the hands of their freshman QB lead. Fouls his back, follows his line. This place is going off.
Hey, no better reason than to take the shirts off in the wintry mix than a touchdown from a true freshman.
Yeah, and watch the help from the vet, Joe Brunner. He's going to pull to the left. Also gets a block from Jackson Acre, man who converted that fake punt earlier. And the true freshman, in his first action, finds his first touchdown in the pouring rain, pseudo flurries. Let's get it on.
We for sure have some wintry precipitation. We'll go there. Touchback down to Danny Rogers.
It would not surprise me if this Wisconsin team didn't even know that extra point was good, because the entire sideline was busy congratulating the true freshman Carter Smith after that touchdown. They did it for about 90 seconds straight. He finally made his way back to the bench, but the vibes, the juice, the momentum has spread to this entire team now for the Badgers.
And into the stands too, which has been really cool to see. Look, for a team that's certainly been frustrated, a fan base that's been frayed, but they are behind their Badgers today.
Yeah, they are. And they know what's coming up in 626. They're going to be jumping around even more.
Look at the touchdown drives from 1 and from 7. Pretty good. And his defense is going to get another sack of Damon Williams. That's going to be intentional grounding. He was out of the pocket but did not get the ball back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be a huge loss.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 2. The penalties are lost it down at the spot of the foul. It's 2nd down.
Sebastian Cheeks with rocket fuel under his feet. Gets off the edge.
Yeah, he and Darrell Peterson. I mean, imagine sitting the whole first half. Just sitting on defense, watch your defense get after it. Now he comes back out on the field, and he's just been impactful. Watch both of these edges at the bottom of the screen, to your point with Cheeks. Just the effort. It's just tremendous effort by this defense. Such excitement. And there it is. Damon just trying to do something. Lucky he didn't fumble the ball.
Yeah, it could have been much worse. Still, pretty tough situation here. 2nd and 26 from their own 9-yard line. Wisconsin defense is feeling it. Fake to Muhammad. Keeper for Williams.
That's really been their offense tonight, right?
Yeah.
They have obviously the touchdown to Boston after the punt block, but other than that, it's been the legs of Damon Williams. Majority of this game, it's been scrambles. That's where he's had his long runs. He had the long 36-yard run in the first half. Not a lot of designed runs. I'd imagine they're going to go back to that well if they can find a way to get a first down on 3rd and forever.
Just 29 rushing yards for Washington. 3rd and 20. And we've got a stoppage, and we're going to push this thing further back.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 68. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
When it rains, it pours. And it is raining. And it is pouring penalties on this drive for the Huskies.
Solo in at the right tackle position now. So you've seen some changes up front for this Washington offensive front. Big thing here on the last 3rd and forever. Remember, this is where Damon Williams had that long 36-yard run.
Still down, starting center Landon Hatchett. Zach Henning snapping it back here on 3rd and long, and more movement.
You got to wonder with the freshman.
Offense number 68. Half the distance to the goal. It's 3rd down.
I think we're recruiting a few more. We're recruiting a few more shirtless Badger fans up there in the end zone. Trying to get this Wisconsin defense to get off the field. Handoff, Muhammad. Stop, Wisconsin. Cooper Catalano, another half of that terrific tandem of true freshman linebackers, comes up with the stop on 3rd and forever, and now a punt from their own end zone now for Luke Dunn. Does Luke Fickell try to return the favor on a block here, or set up a return and get you in really good field position?
He's been extremely aggressive all night. I'd imagine for Washington, 1-step punt.
Close. Dunn gets it away into the hands of Tyrell Henry. Has plenty of room. Henry moving off to his left. Brought down by McLaughlin, the safety, but terrific field position for Wisconsin. Carter Smith will have it from the 35 when this Wisconsin offense comes back after scoring the first touchdown of the game for the Badgers. Last time out. All right, Badger fans, Abbott and the Big Ten's We Give Blood competition is coming down to the wire, in Wisconsin clinging to a razor-thin lead over Nebraska in the race for $1 million for student health programs. Every drop counts, every donor matters, and anyone can participate. Help Wisconsin bring home the title by donating blood before December 5th. Find a blood center near you and register your donation for Wisconsin at big10.org/Abbott. And Gideon Atuka will take that first down run for a couple here. This is the 4th drive that Wisconsin has started in Washington territory. It's how they've gotten all of their 10 points.
Field position is a huge story, and now with the weather that we see here for Luke Fickell and Jed Fisher, it's about managing the game. Managing it's 10-10. Who can find points first in this situational football type of environment?
Rain coming down sideways, maybe a little bit of snow. Carter Smith on the keeper, got it, first down inside the 20 for the true freshman. As we go to Chicago with Dave Retson for a studio update.
Yeah, we're at 9th-ranked Oregon has won in Iowa City. Atticus Sappington drilling the 39-yard field goal in the final 10 seconds. The Ducks improved to 8-1 on the year, 18-16 your final.
Survival Saturday for Big Ten CFP hopefuls. Two teams in the top 10 of the first installment of the CFP rankings, winning on the road in dramatic situations. Thank you, Dave, with Oregon earlier today. Fernando Mendoza to Omar Cooper, game-winning touchdown for Indiana. On the road at Penn State, can Washington do the same for their hopeful CFP hopes? Tretch Kekahuna into the backfield, gets that carry.
Well, it's good news for Washington that Oregon can get that win to potentially set up what might be a phenomenal final game in the regular season. But UW's got to take care of their business. UW in purple. UW in red right now. It's all about ball security. It's all about ball security, and you've got to know for your special teams, for your kicker, in Nathaniel Vacos, where does he love to kick field goals from? Like, as you get tighter and tighter to the red zone here, you got to decide, do we need to be in the middle of the field?
Third red zone trip from Wisconsin, and on second down, Carter Smith cannot connect, looking for Grant Steck, the tight end. Third red zone drive of the night. They had two rather, in the previous 3 games.
Well, here, this is a critical down here on third down. You're going to kick it if you don't get it, in my opinion. And they've struggled in the passing game. So to me, it's placing it in the run game, whether it's QB design run or giving it to your back, Atuka. Put it in the position that's in the best possible case scenario so you can get 3 out of this drive.
Third down. The run for Dupree. Tried to kickstart something, breaking the initial tackle, but not going to get there. And so here we go. Is this where Vacos wanted it? On the left side, with that run going that way.
I think it's a great call. Like left middle, give yourself the best opportunity. Now it's all about the hold and the snap amid the flurries.
32-yard field goal attempt. Vacos 1 of 2 tonight. Elements in issue on the hold. See if they get it down clean with the snap. Bertrands puts it down, Vacos puts it up, and it is good. And Wisconsin has a lead over number 23 Washington in the wintry mix. Wisconsin getting hot. All right, later tonight, the Badgers and the Wolverines face off in a top 10 Saturday night hockey showdown. Puck drops at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Those two teams met last night as well. And Michigan knocked Wisconsin from the ranks to be undefeated. So they'll meet up again tonight. See if they can feed off some momentum generated by this Wisconsin football team, who has a lead in a Big Ten game right now, the latest they have had a lead so far this season. Touchback for Washington, and we take a look at the coaching profile of Jed Fish, a true builder of programs, from 1-11 to 10-3 in 2 years, and now already has equaled last year's win total at Washington.
I think what's so impressive about Jed Fish has always been his plan as a head coach. He's always had one, hasn't had to figure it out in real time.
So not a touchback, or not a fair catch. Take a look at this again.
Yeah, and that's Adam Muhammad.
And so that deads it right there. That's
you got to get
the
your
key.
arm up. You're exactly right. But for Jed Fish, the coaches he's learned from go all the way back to Steve Spurrier, Mike Shanahan with the Broncos, Sean McVay, Jim Harbaugh, Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick. He's been in all these types of games and environments. He knows the number one job is just to stay steady, find some consistent execution.
And they'll try to get the consistency from the place they've gone all night long. Damon Williams in the run game, brought down by Cooper Catalano, who is racking up the tackles tonight. The true freshman linebacker from Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, for Washington, he came into the game thinking they're going to have success running to the left. John Mills, Carver Willis, they're back, they're healthy. They haven't had a lot of successful runs over that part of the offensive line. You got to give credit to this defensive front, a variety of different alignments.
Muhammad gets the carry, breaks the tackle. Muhammad first down and more. Explosive play in the run game for Washington as Jed Fish, in the rain, in the elements, in the wintry mix, turns to the run game.
Well, watch Daryl Peterson here, right here at 17. He's got him, and I just think the weather, just going to slip right off me, and Muhammad is a strong back. All of 220 runs right through the defensive lineman's grips. And that's a big-time run for a first down out from your own territory.
18-yard run. Fresh set of downs. Muhammad runs right into Cooper Catalano, who will just have racked up his 10th tackle of the night for a guy who set the record for Wisconsin high schools with total tackles at over 400.
There's Washington. Since their touchdown drive, they have not found really any momentum. This drive, they're starting to create a little, and they're running over the left side of this offensive line. The last two plays have been over an area they feel most confident about.
Final seconds of the third quarter. Damon Williams, quick throw to the freshman Desmond Roebuck. Roebuck got it and gets wrapped up by Ricardo Holman. 6-yard gain, though, as they approach midfield.
We know what this means.
Get your vertical jumps ready. We are jumping. In the third quarter comes to a close here from Madison when we return. For the first time in Big Ten play, this Camp Randall crowd has reason to jump. Back here in Madison, one of the greatest college football traditions as we start the fourth quarter. Wisconsin up 13-10. Washington on the move, but talking to Wisconsin defensive players during the week, they wanted an opportunity to be on the field after jump around to help set the tone. And a nice stop on a Damon Williams run by Corey Walker. So here you go for Wisconsin. First lead entering a fourth quarter in a Big Ten game since last year. The Huskies, meanwhile, have been so good in the fourth quarter, outscoring their opponents 94-28. Need a big drive here. Second down, nice move. Adam Muhammad makes a cut, spinning, lunging, and he will get close to the 49-yard line. Cooper Catalano again wrangling him down.
You know, Red, there's a couple traits across every single program as we see the snow and rain fall. As everybody talks about finishing. You got to finish in the fourth quarter here on third and less than one.
Handoff, Muhammad, stuffed! Mason Posa, the true freshman from New Mexico, drops Muhammad for a loss.
Watch these two linebackers, Posa number 8. They just trust their instincts. Posa just beats the block from Zachary Henne, the backup center, now thrust into action, and Jed Fish. I get it, in this weather, you don't want to punt it. He's gonna go for it. He's gonna keep the ball in the hands of Damon Williams. Zone read right here.
Quick to the line. Williams sees space, takes it. Just got it as he lunged forward. The official on the far side coming down and marking that right at the line of gain.
I don't know what
it's
his
over.
feet touch.
Yeah.
Great job by him on the draw.
did drag the knee, but
yeah, it looked to be a first down. They're going to move the chains.
Tempo. Just across midfield, low snap. Williams corrals it, gets it, and the true freshman Roebuck with a big catch in the elements.
I think you mentioned the elements. Let's remember where Washington is located.
That's right.
In the Pacific Northwest. To get recruited there, you can go back to Marcus Tuiasosopo, you can go back to Jake Locker. You've got to be able to cut through the wind and the rain just to play on Montlake. So that's part of the deal when you're getting recruited. So this is not an issue, this weather, for Damon Williams in the passing game.
Gain of 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Handoff, Muhammad around the right side. Physical run from Adam Muhammad, the 220-pound sophomore from Arizona, is moving the sticks now for Washington. Gain of 5.
Well, he's carrying the load. We're not seeing Jonah Coleman. Jordan Washington not good to go in this ball game. So Muhammad's basically it at the running back position.
Jordan Washington didn't make the trip. And there's Coleman on the sideline, helmet in hand, but watching Adam Muhammad bring up a physical presence. Fakes the carry. Oh, Decker DeGraff cannot hold on. Quick throw off the play action. And Washington down 3, 11 minutes to play. Will welcome Purdue to Seattle next week, and then at UCLA, and finishing up with their rival number 9 Oregon to close out the regular season. This is a massive drive for the college football playoff. 12th play of this possession. Quick throw, got it complete. It's Chris Lawson.
We talked about not seeing Jonah Coleman, hadn't seen Denzel Boston. Boston now comes back onto the field. But you just wonder, right? Ranked for the first time all year long, it's been, why aren't the Huskies getting ranked? Now they are. Now it's the playoff, and now it's a 3rd down, potential 4-down territory. I'd imagine they're going to run it again here with Muhammad in the backfield.
3 of 11 on 3rd down conversions tonight. Williams pressure, gets out of it. Houdini, Williams hit hard as he spun forward down to the 32-yard line, short of the line to gain. Mason Posa slow to get up here after being involved in that hit.
Timeout for injured defensive players.
He's the one that forced Williams to run it because he went and double covered Boston from his linebacker position, and he's just been all over the field. Hope he is all right. We'll
Check
be right
on
back.
Posa. Wisconsin clinging to a 3-point lead, just under 11 remaining at Camp Randall. Mason Posa, true freshman linebacker, whiplash on this hit, a little banged up. He is not in the medical tent. He is waiting to come back into the game. We have a 51-yard field goal attempt. Grady Gross. He's 1 of 1 from 50 or longer so far this year. Good hold, it's blocked. Wisconsin gets the block, and they'll get the ball back. Turning back, the Huskies attempt to tie this ball game.
Well, there's initial penetration. Watch the effort. You want to go 1, 2, 3 steps, then get your arm up. Was it the arm? I think it was the left arm of Ben Barton, the senior who's been around from Wisconsin. It was. He's excited.
He knew it.
He knew. You're darn right he knew it.
6'5" frame and some push, helping Carter Smith back out onto the field from the 37. Kretschke Kahuna in motion, gets the fake and the pitch to Jackson Aker. 8-yard gain for the fullback.
You know what we're seeing? Go back to the beginning of this game. When Carter Smith comes in, you saw a certain style of runs. They went to the same menu 3 or 4 times back to the well. Come out after halftime, and all of a sudden a couple wrinkles to that well. We saw another one here in the 4th quarter. Jeff Grimes is so experienced as a play caller, the offensive coordinator here at Wisconsin. You're watching him in his bag a little bit.
Second and short. The give. Atuka motoring forward. It is a physical presence with Gideon Atuka.
Well, it's a physical program, right?
Yes.
You go back to the theme of the entire week, really of the season. Fans not happy, wanting to win the line of scrimmage. Been 7 different offensive lines. Finally, the last couple games, they feel like they might have it right. They know if they're going to win this game and upset a team that has dreams and hopes to go to the college football playoff, they've got to continue to win this line of scrimmage.
Wisconsin might have lost 11 in a row to ranked opponents, but you could not tell that at Friday practice. The way that they have played for Luke Fickell, near disaster. Go for the Badgers. Vinny Anthony, the receiver, able to recover that loose ball.
And these are hard. You're just trying to time up the snap. Anthony's trying. I thought it was going to be a direct snap to him. It was just poor timing on the cadence. He got hit by the snap.
Again, Carter Smith, a week plus running this offense, trying to get this timing down, not only with his receivers, but with his center, Davis Heinzen, trying to understand the game plan. And you're seeing a little bit of that on that loose ball. Back him up. It's now a 2nd and 13. Smith looking for Anthony, a little tall. Prysock in coverage for Washington.
Trying to get the entire defense to flow to one side, come back to the other. But you're going up against 2 corners that are 6'4". 2 premier corners projected to play at the next level for Jed Fish. Both came with him from Arizona. His first stop as a full-time head coach. And now here on a 3rd down. I wonder, I don't think it's 4-down territory, so I'd run the football, see if you can break one, potentially get an explosive run.
Here it is, again with the receiver in motion, Kahuna. They're going to keep it in Carter Smith's hands. He'll push forward. Gain of 2, stopped by Dacario Davis, the corner. And now we get a punt situation.
And it's the right call for Luke Fickell. Look, if it wasn't raining, if it wasn't snowing, I'd say, hey, maybe go for it. He wanted to be very aggressive in this game plan. But you've got the lead now. For the first time in quite some time. You've got it at home in inclement weather. You have an opportunity to play field position here. Your defense is playing so well.
They've been rolling and had to factor into the calculus for Fickell. Oh, the snap nearly dropped by Atticus Bertrams. He's able to gather it up and look at the bounce. Near disaster turns into good fortune for these Badgers. Downing it inside the 5. Bertram's like, hey, I'll take it however it comes. 43-yard punt. Washington backed up again when we return. 2 true freshman linebackers started for the first time together last week, and Yogi, they have come to play today.
They've done it every which way. Spying Damon Williams, rushing from a variety of different positions on the defensive line to Damon Williams. That's the play of the day from Mason Posa. These 2 true freshmen, they didn't anticipate starting behind Christian Allegro and Tackett Curtis, but here they are leading this defense.
Damon Williams, pressure from his own end zone, lets it rip. Intended for Desmond Roebuck. Falls incomplete.
Posa and Catalano weren't sure about each other to start. They were sizing each other up when they came in. Now they're roommates. Posa says we'll probably be roommates forever. And they're at the team's Friday night entertainment with our football trivia. Defensive coordinator Mike Tressel said he doesn't know who's winning all the time, but Posa definitely thinks he's the winner.
He's helping Wisconsin look for a win tonight. You know, Catalano kind of told his dad, he was like, I don't know about this Posa guy. Like, I don't know if we're going to get along. His dad was like, you know what? He's probably going to end up being the best man in your wedding. Turns out they are the best men for Wisconsin tonight. Catalano, Posa, closing in on 20 total tackles together.
Well, this is a big 3rd down here. They cannot try to be a hero. You've got to play within the framework of this defense. They're going to show pressure, and they're going to jump out of it.
Williams on the move, got it complete. Boston stays in bounds, dives forward. Big conversion for this Husky offense.
Yeah, he looks banged up. You got to imagine every time it's a gotta-have-it situation. We've seen Denzel Boston come into the game, them trying to get the football. He's coming out now. And think about it, 2 of your 3 stars not in the ball game. A little sprint out, right call, ran this play a few times already tonight. Denzel Boston leaving it all on the grass.
Foot got close there for Boston. The touching out of bounds, but a big catch and a little breathing room. Williams stepping up, gonna take off, tucks it, runs it. Nice gain on first down. Ball came out late, but he was down.
Look, here's the deal. If you are Wisconsin defensively and defensive coordinator Mike Tressel that Danny just referenced, you have got to force anybody but DeMond Williams to beat you. You're going to see a bunch of pressures where you're basically going to tackle the quarterback. You saw it 2 snaps ago from Catalano coming off an edge. You're going to be spining with Posa and Catalano and Reiger. You've got to force Adam Muhammad and company to beat you, or DeMond Williams to beat you in this weather with his arm.
49 yards so far for Muhammad, who gets the carry here. We'll get to the 50-yard total on the night, but just a yard on that second down run.
We had so much fun talking to Mike Tressel yesterday, saying our defense is close, but there's times when guys just want to make a play, right? Guys like Mason Reiger, who's been playing college football for a long time, transfer from Louisville. Sebastian Cheeks, Darrell Peterson, guys who've played a lot of football. Right now on this third down, you got to play the integrity of this defense and fit your gap.
Tressel challenging his guys to be great in clutch situations like third down and red zone, and that's where Washington has had success with DeMond Williams this season. A third and short opportunity here. Pressure from Posa. Williams gets out of it, gets it complete, but nowhere near the line to gain, and this Camp Randall crowd is feeding off the energy this Badger defense is creating.
I didn't know if Wisconsin was offsides on this. Watch down the line. It's going to be posted at the top of the screen. Oh, great no call, right? Don't you flash back immediately to that Michigan State game?
No doubt.
Nice job by the officials, and Posa getting off his feet, but a huge stop from this Wisconsin defense.
So Luke Dunn back to punt it away. Clean operation, gets the punt off. Short punt. It'll go out of bounds. But Wisconsin will have terrific field position once again. Feel like we have said that so often in this game. But Carter Smith will have another opportunity to pad the Badger lead when we come back. Football on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Discover, the official credit card of the Big Ten Conference. And by UKG, HR, Pay, and Workforce Management. Fifth meeting between these two teams. Last time in Madison, a 21-17 Washington win. By the way, check those scores from the Seattle Times. USC Northwestern right up there, who of course met last night with USC getting a big win. Crazy how some of that works out. Gideon Atuka into the backfield. He'll get the carry from Carter Smith around the right side. A little room to roam. And squarely in Washington territory now. Gain of 4.
Okay, so you've got 2 individuals. Number 1, the back. Atuka, his first start as a Badger. The most playing time ever for your quarterback in Carter Smith. You got to know the situation, right? You can't go out of bounds. You got to stay in bounds. You want to run the football, take as much time off this clock as possible, and eventually Jed Fish will start to utilize his timeouts.
Second and 6, Carter Smith. Brings the tight end in motion, gives it back to Atuka, trying to push that thing forward. He'll get about 3. Clock now under 4 minutes. This would be the Badgers' first ranked win, if they're able to hold on, since 2021 when they took down number 9 Iowa. 11 straight opportunities against a ranked team that they have lost. Looking for their third down conversion of the game here, perhaps none bigger.
I'm going QB run game again. Do not make it more complicated than it needs to be with your young quarterback.
Timeout, Wisconsin. It's their first of the half.
A little bit extra time to think about this play call. We'll be back with third down. Always game on. 3rd and 3 for the freshman Carter Smith leading this Badger offense. Read option. Smith tracked down in the backfield. Exree Alexander finally brings him down.
Timeout, Washington.
It's exactly how you want to play it. Really nice job by this defensive front. Watch at the top of the screen, right there. Nice work from Alexander. Just staying square the whole time. Smith almost has him beat to the edge. Even pre-snap, Alexander's kind of swinging his hand around saying, it's coming this way. He had a feeling he was going to run to the left side. Huge stop, right timeout for Jedd Fisch. Third down, stop the clock, saving about 40 seconds for yourself offensively. Oftentimes a lot of dialogue, right, of do you want to save the timeouts for later in the game? No, you want to take that right there on third down.
That terrific call from Ryan Walters, understanding situation, understanding weather. Those dogs were hunting. Atticus Bertram's dropped the last snap. Clean operation this time. High punt. That ball will drop at the 12, bounce backwards. So Washington, not quite inside the 10, but still a long way to go to try to get into field goal range. The injuries from Washington today have been tough because they've been two key players. Denzel Boston first went down on the punt return, was carted off. He did return, but has been limping around. We have not seen Jonah Coleman much at all since he limped off. And then Damon Williams even favoring his right leg a little bit after that pass attempt in the first half. He has obviously been back and showing he is no worse for the wear. Well, also the center, right? Landon Hatcher goes out in the ball game. So here we go. You've got to really be nails when it comes to communication right now. Snap, this place has come alive. You got 3 minutes left. It's more than enough time. You just need to be efficient. Boston in the game. Everything's going to go through the legs right here of Damon Williams. Williams back to pass. Gets out of a little pressure. Long throw. Got it complete. Roebuck spinning and getting the first down. Positive start to this drive. There's a world where Denzel Boston's a little bit of a decoy. You're watching Wisconsin. They're going to cheat his way the entirety of this drive. He split wide to the bottom of the screen. Matt Young, the safety's got to know where he is. 2 timeouts apiece for both teams. Low snap for Williams. Again, he is able to pick it up, slide forward. Gain of 3. Washington sideline wanted a penalty. Not going to get it on that one. Minimal contact with the slide. And again, more than enough time here for Jedd Fisch and his offense. It's all about efficiency. Man-to-man against Rico Hallman. Williams, pressure, spinning. Williams able to get out of it again. He is Houdini in the pocket, spinning out of trouble and nearly getting the first down. That's amazing as we hit the 2-minute TO. Deani Hill almost had him in the backfield, but you're right, Houdini-esque is Damon Williams. I'd imagine we might see a little bit of magic in the final 2 here in this awesome environment.
Dave Reps and Marcel Reese with you. We've seen ranked road teams figure out a way in the Big Ten today. Huskies on the ropes here, Marcel.
The path to victory is Damon Williams with his Superman cape, and this O-line has to pick it up, have clean communication and efficiency to win this game.
Got a post game to follow. We'll take you through the day in the Big Ten as we take you up to Badger hockey against Michigan here on the Big Ten Network. But let's send it back to Camp Randall as the guys take us through the finish. Red?
Dave, Marcel, thanks. I think Marcel probably hit it right on the head there. Damon Williams maybe running over Carver Willis and John Mills, the terrific left side of that offensive line, Yogi.
That's where I would go. Keep an eye on Muhammad and some of these tight ends. Remember, they've got Quentin Moore back. He's lined up as a tight end.
Under center.
Quick sneak.
Quick handoff. It is Muhammad, has the first down. But now that clock will stop temporarily under 2 minutes.
And again, more than enough time. Nice job of Damon Williams changing the play call at the line of scrimmage. Now they line up here and away they go. They've got their menu and their 2-minute offense. They want to get the ball out.
Damon, complete behind the line of scrimmage. Big stop. Deani Hill did not play against Oregon, has been a big addition for this Wisconsin defense as we get the tempo now from Washington.
And there's Boston wide to the bottom of the screen.
2nd and 12, low snap, dropped it. Able to corral it is Williams. He's going to take some green grass in front of him, forward for a 7-yard gain. Mason Posa comes up with the stop.
Yeah, the biggest thing here for this Wisconsin
Timeout,
defense,
Washington.
they have
Second
to
and a half.
continue to communicate.
30 seconds.
Because it can often feel frenetic at times if you're a young player on the field, especially going up against Damon Williams. The last play was a beautiful example. Your rush lanes are great, but he bobbles the snap. It throws off your timing, and all of a sudden, he finds positive yardage to set up this 3rd and 6.
All right, later tonight, maybe some of those guys going to be watching Wisconsin and Michigan. It's Saturday night hockey. Badgers, Wolverines, a top 10 showdown. Puck dropping at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Wisconsin trying to get a little revenge after Michigan won 7-4, scored 4 goals in the 3rd period to hand the Badgers their first loss of the season last night. And so now we got a crucial 3rd down for Jed Fish. Where's he going?
It's a gotta-have a situation. You're going to Denzel Boston. He's going up against a corner, Enrico Hallman, who's playing his 47th game at Wisconsin. Try to get a little switch release, a little bit of space for him in the slot.
Damon, deep drop, deep shot, looking for Boston. No dice. Matt Young turns that deep attempt away, and now a 4th down for the game.
Well, they get pressure from this front 7, doing a nice job just finding ways and creative ways to get into the backfield. That's Peterson. And then at the end, this is a really nice job by Young, just kind of turning away from it, saying, I don't even want it to be close. No need for contact with an overthrown ball. So this is 4th and the game with only 1 timeout for Washington.
Williams has some room in front. He's going to try to take it, but Mason Posa shuts the door. Wisconsin stands tall.
All smiles in the stands. And that man, Luke Fickell, he's been up against it all season long. Mason Posa, he has shown up in the last few weeks. Spying Damon Williams is a huge part of the game plan, leveraging this back. And now look at a formation they haven't seen here in quite some time as Wisconsin.
Timeout, Wisconsin.
Going to use a TO.
2nd and a half.
Milk it. Milk it for all it's worth. The 71,000 in attendance have not seen this in Big Ten play.
This community has not seen this in a while. And if we're going to be real, this community was not happy, is not happy. This locker room was not happy how this season has gone. Chris McIntosh had a vision for this thing. Luke Fickell has a vision for this thing. They said this week that he's a winner, he's a program builder, he's a developer of talent. The resources are coming. Just throw down, just believe in us. If you needed an example, Madison, Wisconsin, you got it right in front of your eyes with a true freshman quarterback who was on the scout team 2 weeks ago and 2 freshman linebackers that have combined almost 30 tackles tonight.
And then another game where QB1 doesn't even get out of the first quarter. Wisconsin rises to the occasion. Timeout called.
Here's that 4th down. And Walt Posa, a 4-time wrestling champion, came here with a purpose. Got a little bond with his head coach, who also was an elite man on the mat. And now the 4th quarterback to play this season for the Badgers is the 1st quarterback in league play to take a knee as the crowd does the unthinkable and rushes the field.
A program battered, beaten down by injury, a fan base weary, a team worn out on Wisconsin for Wisconsin, winners once again. in the middle of the madness in Madtown, down to Danny Rogers with an excited and ecstatic Luke Fickell.
Coach, everyone is storming the field. Vibes are great here in Madison. What kind of exhale can you take after this win tonight?
A pretty big one for all of us, for a lot of us. So it's been a while coming, so it's great to see.
What can you say about the journey this season to get to this moment?
It doesn't end. We go to our fourth quarterback. I don't know if he tore his Achilles, whatever happened, but they just keep battling. So that's what we got to do.
You debuted your freshman quarterback, Carter Smith. How did he handle this situation?
Well, if you'd have told me he was going to be playing, I don't know that I would have slept all week, but we had him prepared. Coach Guyton and them guys had him prepared, and he stepped up tonight.
Congratulations, Coach. Thank you.
Danny, excellent work. A jubilant Luke Fickell. How about an encore, a jump around at Camp Randall? You could almost feel the frustration just exhale out of this crowd.
Every week, we watch Luke Fickell meet the media, stare it right in the face, and say, we're still connected, we're still competing, we're still together inside the walls of this facility. And every single week, people question that. And it's hard, and it can seep in. This is a culture win, right? This is a culture win. This program, amid craziness in the sport we love, has stayed together. And this man, Luke Fickell, one of the best hires in the cycle a few years ago, hasn't done this in quite some time. And as he has poured into this program, he gets to smile for the first time in quite some time.
Doing it for the here and now, remaining in contention for bowl eligibility, but how about the future of this program? Mason Posa, Cooper Catalano, Carter Smith, the list goes on. And patience, so difficult in today's landscape of college football, exercised by Chris McIntosh, the athletic director here at Wisconsin, ensuring Luke Fickell's future, so that he can ensure the future of this program with consistency, with conviction, and tonight, with a win. And so that will wrap it up from Camp Randall Stadium. Men's hockey coming your way at 8 Eastern with number 2 Michigan hosting number 10 Wisconsin. For Yogi Roth, Danny Rogers, and our entire crew, I am Brett Lewis. For now, we send it to our Chicago studios for a Big Ten Live post-game show with Puck Drop on the way.